Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna set that down, dude. A couple weeks back, I filmed a video with this bait right here, the Crush City Bronco Bug, and I was really excited to try it out. It's a relatively new bait, and it looks pretty different compared to a lot of the other flipping baits on the market. What I did not realize until I got several comments from you guys is that it is almost a direct knockoff of this OSP Dolive Beaver that has come out of Japan. So they took this bait and almost made the exact same thing, and then obviously have a much bigger market here in America. And even me, someone that fishes, 30, 40, 50 tournaments a year, I bass fish more than pretty much everyone that you probably know, other than maybe some of those Elite Series guys that run the water like 300 days a year. I didn't realize that it was a direct knockoff of this bait. So what we're gonna do in today's video is I'm gonna show you guys the very, very subtle differences between these. We're gonna kind of break these out of the packages. I'll show you what they change on it, which is not very much. And then I wanna put this to the test too, because I did like this bait a lot. I wanna see what we could catch on this, if we could get some big bass, if I think it's a lot better, or if it's maybe worse, maybe they did improve upon it somehow. We're gonna put this to the test though and try to catch some bass. But first, let's break these baits down and show you guys what changes that they've made to this Crush City Bronco Bug from this original OSP Dolive Beaver here. The very first thing that I noticed between these baits is actually nothing to do with the bait itself. It's actually in the packaging here. So with these OSP Dolive Beavers, you just have this standard hard shell packaging. You open it up, you take your bait out, put it on. It's really, really easy to close up, put away. Don't have to worry about it. There's nothing wrong with this type of packaging. A lot of soft plastic companies do this, and I do appreciate having the hard shell, especially when you have different appendages like this. If you have just a regular Senko or something, you can kind of get away with just having it in a bag. But if you want to make sure that these pinchers stay nice, they're not going to fold over and get all wonky, you do want to have this hard shell. But with these two packages, it actually is a big problem for me, even though it does seem pretty simple. Putting it back in here, keeping everything all organized, it saves you a lot of time in the water. It does add up over time, especially if you're in a tournament, have to get things in and out really, really quick. I prefer a packaging style like this. So seems stupid, seems simple, but packaging does make a difference in these baits. But now let's actually look at the bait itself. And as you guys can see, very, very similar to each other. I do have different sizes. I think that they do make a 4-inch size. I didn't really realize that when I bought it. I just wanted to, get these in my hands as quick as possible, and I got my hands on these ones. So this is a 3.5-inch, this is a 4-inch, but the actual profile of these baits, this is the OSP Dolive Beaver, this is the Rapala Bronco Bug, if you were wondering, because they do look so similar to each other. There's not much difference in these baits. I mean, you got the exact same shape when it comes to those dongles on the side there. They both have these little antenna pinchers sticking right down the middle. Both of them have two little dotted eyes. Really, the only difference in these baits, the only discernible difference between these two baits right here are on the Rapala Bronco Bug, it's got these little side pinchers and they are pointing straight up, as you guys can see. And on this OSP Dolive Beaver, those things are pointed downwards. And then obviously there's some different ribbing and stuff in the bodies, which, I mean, every bait company, they're gonna add their own little flair and try to make it their own too. But it's just pretty crazy that they took this exact bait, and it is a very unique bait. Like I said, that's why I was excited about this thing, and they pretty much jacked it straight from OSP Dolive. So I'm gonna put this thing in the test, see what we could catch on it, but they are almost carbon copy clones of each other. But we're gonna flip this around, try to catch some big bass, because like I said, I like this profile. It gives them a different look, a look that they really haven't seen that much. Let's go put this thing in some really, really heavy cover. I've got 65-pound braid, a big old 7.5-foot rod, extra heavy action. We're gonna go flip this thing in the pads, catch some fish. Let's go see what we can do with this OSP Dolive Beaver. We're gonna get up here and flip this around some pads, and I'm gonna give you guys my first impressions of this bait as we try to catch our first bass of the day. But hopefully we can get some good ones on it. Like I said, I really like this flipping bait. It looks so different. I think that a lot of these fish still haven't seen it. That Rapala Bronco Bug, even though it is obviously more popular than the Dolive Beaver, I still think that not a lot of people around me have really picked up on that yet, haven't used it a ton. So it's still a new look for a lot of these fish, this style of bait for sure. Oh. Did we seriously just rip through that bait on the first flip? We did. We got a bite and literally busted through that bait one flip in. Huh. I'm gonna try to backwards rig it there. We might be able to get a fish out of it, but that's kind of disheartening. I definitely got bit there, felt that fish, set the hook, and literally busted through. I mean, flipping baits are notorious. If you're using, a pretty big flipping hook, big weight, you might get 1 or 2 fish out of them, just kind of the nature of that style of fishing. But typically on your first hook set, you don't completely bust the top of the bait open. So hey, durability wise, maybe that Rapala has improved upon this bait a little bit. I don't know. I feel like Japanese baits, they do tend to be kind of that really soft, really supple plastic, and typically that does get you some more bites, but you also do sacrifice some of that quality and some of that durability. Didn't like that. Did not like busting through the top of that bait one flip, one hook set in. Right now we're just targeting kind of the deeper ends of these pads. I think a lot of the fish in this lake are post-spawn. This lake's been really, really warm for quite some time, so I did see some fry guarding around by the boat launch. I kind of scanned around a bit. I think that there's gonna be some fish kind of in all of these little lily pad tips here. If we do got to get up there, get dirty with it, we can, but I wasn't seeing what I wanted to see up there, so we're gonna flip around some of these deeper pads out here. Got him. Oh, it's a tiny one. Gosh, that thing got all messed up. My hand fell off the reel there for a sec. Not a big bass, but we've been flipping for about 5 minutes. We got 2 bites and 1 fish in the boat to show for it. We are definitely, I promise you, gonna catch some bigger fish than that, but first one of that little OSP Dolive Beaver, and let's check the durability, because if you guys remember, I think I got like 6 or 7 fish out of my first Rapala Bronco Bug. This one ripped on the first hook set. I think I might still be able to get 1 more fish out of it, it looks like. But it is pretty tore up. This plastic is quite a bit softer, I would say. But yeah, it's definitely beat up pretty bad. I think that we're gonna be able to just barely squeak out 2 fish on this, hopefully, or at least 1 more hook set on it. If we hook the fish, that's another story. But first fish in the boat, pretty beat up after that couple little hook sets right there. Oh gosh. I literally barely did anything. It just ripped through the top. I think that we're down. She's pretty dang cooked. Oh, I'm gonna really try to get 1 more out of it. That's not good. I don't like that. I do not like that. When you're flipping into stuff like this, you wanna make sure that your bait's staying up. There we go. At least we got 1 more bite out of it. It's another dink, but we got her. And guess what? We don't even have to try to make that thing work again because it is completely gone. So we got 2 bass about that size on it. Quality-wise, is not holding up as well. I think that plastic is quite a bit softer compared to that Bronco Bug plastic. Just really tearing up, but we'll see. Maybe that first hook set did something weird to that bait, got it really tore up. It might hold up a little bit better this time. We'll have to see how this all pans out. So bait number 2, rigged up there. We'll see if this one holds up a little bit better, and we definitely gotta work on getting some bigger bites. If I keep getting little bites out here, we're definitely gonna switch spots and try to figure something else out. A lot of these might just be tiny little buck bass doing weird stuff in these deeper pads. Got him. Okay, we're gonna move spots, boys and girls. That's a little better, I guess. I don't want to catch a bunch of dinks one after another. We're gonna go try to find some bigger fish. That one is a bit better though. That's like a 12-inch fish. Decent little bass, flipping around these pads, but we're gonna go look for some big bass because we need to find those 3 and 4 pounders somewhere in here. See if we could get a second bass out of this bait too. So far, 1 fish on this bait. It's not quite as tore as that first hook set that completely destroyed the other OSP Beaver. So I think we could definitely get at least 2 out of this one as well. I'm definitely noticing durability wise, these are much softer baits, which like I said, typically that's gonna get you more bites. So it's not like it's a knock on that bait. You just have to know what you're looking for in a specific day. Like maybe tournament day, this is your go-to because you know you're gonna get maybe 1 or 2 more bites because that different action is going to get you those bites. But maybe like practice day or fun fishing, you're going to go for something like that Bronco Bug because you could get another 3 or 4 fish out of each one of those plastics. But let's go find some bigger bass. All right, time to find some bigger bass. Some really, really thick, delicious looking pads up here. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna set that down, dude. Buddy, I apologize. I lifted it up, I didn't want to believe it. My bait was like 5 feet to the freaking left. I'm like, it's gotta be a decent sized one. We got a jacker. Poor little guy. She was flopping around still though, so she's okay. She's good, everything's fine. Everything's fine. We came over here for bigger fish and we almost just sent that one to another stratosphere. So the thing I'm noticing about this bait, we're just gonna pretend like that didn't happen. The thing I'm noticing about this bait right here is I don't know if it's really made for flipping heavy cover. So I do think it's really great. The biggest difference, I guess, I didn't notice at first. So that's what's kind of cool about this video. I'm using this thing real time. Let me spot lock us here real quick. I'm using this bait real time, and I'm kind of discovering the differences between this bait because even though on the surface they look like they're identical to each other, This bait right here, which actually I still have one out, is much thicker. And like I said, there are different sizes, but it's actually a different profile that I didn't really, you know, take into consideration. I'm looking at the body like that. They look very similar, same kind of shape, same outline to those baits. This bait right here is made for flipping heavy cover. It's a lot thicker. When you're gonna go flip pads or really heavy laydown, stuff like that, you're gonna use that big flipping hook. You need a pretty thick plastic or else you're really gonna tear those baits up quick. And that's what I'm noticing with this bait right here. You've got a much thinner bait than you do with that Crush City Bronco Bug right there. So much thicker plastic. Once again, it's just a different style. I'm not saying that either one of these baits are good or bad. I'm saying that they're gonna have their positives and their negatives to each other. Even though they are so similar, I think that both of these baits probably are gonna have a spot in your tackle box for different reasons. We are gonna continue to flip this bait around. I am gonna get a new one because this one is pretty tore up. This is not happening right now. We just caught a 5-incher and almost gave her some CTE. She would ended up like Rob Gronkowski, and we don't want that. We wanna only set hook that hard one. It's a big one, but sometimes it is hard to know what's going on. So oh no. That was a very delayed hook set. That was a slightly better fish. It still didn't look that big, so I'm not too worried. That looked like it was maybe pound and a half. She just bit that thing real weird. It was spongy, and then I just felt her go down with it. She was way back in the pads there. That's a good sign. It's a good sign. Oh, there we go. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. It's a little better fish. Yes, sir. Wow, I've never seen one like that before. I've had fish with like speckles and stuff, but never like that, dude. That's crazy. That's one of the most unique looking bass I've ever seen in my entire life. She's got speckles all over her body. Can you guys see that on the camera? That's nuts. Not a great big one by any means, but definitely the biggest one so far today, probably a little bit over a pound, and definitely one of the most unique bass I've ever caught in my entire life. She's got speckles all over her body. It's not like those black blotches. She's got legit speckles all over her fins and tail and face and everything. So pretty cool fish. Gonna get her back in and look for some bigger ones. Like I said, we just have not found that big post-spawn female that we're looking for quite yet, but get her in the water, try to find some more fish for you guys. All while still trying to test that Dolive Beaver, which I don't even know how many fish we've caught so far. I think I've probably put like 5 in the video or so. We caught a couple other little ones along the way as well. And we've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 baits so far. So they come in a pack of 6 as well. We're lucky to get 2 fish out of each bait. We're pretty much getting a fish per bait, and then, you know, 1 or 2 we've got 2 fish out of. Like I said, that is my consensus so far in the video. I will give like a complete overview at the end, which hopefully I'm gonna catch a couple good ones here before that, but I will give you guys my full breakdown at the end. But I think that this bait just isn't really made for flipping super duper heavy cover. Not that this is like too insane. I mean, we're flipping around pads, but I think this might be made more so for like an EWG hook on maybe some lighter line, which, I mean, hey, that makes sense too, because a lot of the stuff that the Japanese guys do, it's just kind of made for more finesse approaches, and we're putting this on a big old meat stick and freaking trying to yank him out of there, so it's kind of tearing this plastic up pretty bad. With that soft, supple plastic, I feel like it does have slightly better action than that Bronco Bug. But like that. Look at this. I flipped it in. This is a brand new bait. I flipped it in there. I did not like yank it into the tree at all. It's completely fresh. And that hook, I'm sure, is popped out, and that's why we've got caught on this tree. Like, I should be able to slither a little soft plastic in and out of this thing, no problem. Especially a fresh one that has not been set hook on at all. And I don't want to, yeah, I don't want to crack it too hard. There we go. But look at that. See? I just gently shook that out of the tree, and we've already popped through. That's a brand new bait. You guys saw me. I've took like 2 flips with this thing, so that's my main issue with this bait right here. The durability for flipping some of this heavy cover, it just doesn't want to stay pinned in there. Wants to tear up this plastic really, really bad. Okay. I can't do it, boys and girls. I need to try something else. I want to put on one of the Crush City Bronco Bugs. I mean, I've barely flipping this thing through the freaking pads, and I cannot get that hook to stay in there. It's insane. So I'm gonna put this Bronco Bug on here. We've been talking about it throughout the video. I think that it's gonna hold up quite a bit better, but I just wanna flip this around and see if I'm going absolutely insane, because for some reason, I cannot get that hook to stay inside of the bait. So I'm gonna throw this thicker Bronco Bug on. We're gonna see, maybe we'll catch a bigger fish on this right away too. Maybe this is the key to getting bigger bites. I don't know. I do know that I should be able to hopefully get this in and around the pads a lot easier without having to put my hook in there every single friggin' time and be so delicate and careful every single flip. So it's just so much thicker for flipping this heavy cover. So we're gonna try this for a sec. It is a comparison video. So even though, you know, I was really hoping I could catch a good one on that OSP, we're gonna try to flip this around. And I just wanna see the difference in how it feels when I'm flipping, and if I have to keep messing with this bait, or if I could just pull it out of the pads like that and not have to worry about it, which you should be able to do when you're punching pads. Oh, right there, we just got bit. But look at that. Dang, man. Legitimately, one hook set in and our dongles are gone. They're gone. So I don't even know what to think about the durability. Maybe these baits, just the way that they're built, they just do not want to be in the lily pads. They just want to, you know, I don't even know. I don't even know what to think anymore. Put another one on there. Legitimately, I think that was our second flip. We got bit for sure, but dongles gone instantly. Let's try this again. Jeez. Can a guy just get a good bite in the pads, stick it, and be happy without his bait just disintegrating? Got him. Finally, dude. Well, boys and girls, I have been fishing this Rapala Crush City Bronco Bug for no less than 1 hour and finally just caught one. It's really no bigger than the average size that we were catching on that little Dolive Beaver. But that Dolive Beaver, I was getting a bite every 5-ish minutes or so. Didn't really matter what spots. I fished all over the lake. I've come back to where I had the most bites right at the beginning there. Caught this one finally, but even this spot, I just fished all of this. It took me like 20, 25 minutes, picked this apart, finally just got bit right there. So I really don't know. I can't say for certain, like, hey, this bait's gonna get you less bites because it's way bigger, bulkier, or if it's just like a specific day type thing, or maybe we just made the right flips. But I will say every 5 or so minutes, we were getting bit on that Dolive Beaver. It took me a very long time to get bit on this bait, but like I said, it was so much easier to get this in and out of the pads. And even right now, I could definitely get another fish or two out of this. It's not too tore up. So durability-wise, much better. But I did get a lot more bites on that Dolive Beaver. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I wanted to be mad at Rapala so bad for basically copying this exact same bait as this OSP Beaver right here. But after fishing with them for a few hours, I will say I think both of these baits have their time and place. I could see myself flipping the Rapala bait around this heavy cover, especially for after a big bite. I know we didn't get a big bite there at the end. I was really hoping we could just cap it off with like a 4-pounder or something and really kind of prove that theory right. I think that bigger, bulkier profile, it's gonna get you a bigger bite though. If I flip that all day, I think the average size would be better on that Rapala bait, but you're gonna get a lot less bites most likely. Like I said too, the durability of this bait in those pads, that's gonna be a huge factor. If I'm gonna flip heavy cover, this is gonna be my go-to. This OSP Beaver though, if you could get away with throwing a little bit lighter weight, a little bit lighter hook, I think that you're gonna get a lot more bites on this bait from what I've seen. And then also think that if you're fishing around less heavy cover, if you're, you know, specifically targeting fish that are maybe offshore, you're gonna put this on the back of a jig, this bait's gonna really shine in those conditions. So I think they both have their time and place. I don't think it's cool to directly copy a bait off, but there are some subtle differences that do make these a little bit different, in my opinion. They're gonna be used for different things. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed today's video, definitely hit that like and subscribe button. Helps me out a ton, but I will catch you guys in the next video.